Welcome back to Barcelona and the PokerStars Championship main event. It is final table day inside Casino Barcelona. We are playing down to a champion today, and somehow, no one is quite sure how, we still have 5 players remaining in this tournament. They are super shallow right now. The blinds have gone to 250,000, 500,000 with a 50,000 ante. And the biggest stack at the table is Andre Akari with 36 big blinds. 21 bigs for Sorrentino and Sorensen, 11 bigs for Petkov, 10 bigs for Kaufman. I'm James Hartigan, joined by Matt Broughton.
Well, this is very strange. Hello, everybody. This is just very weird.
Jamie Staples from Team PokerStars Pro Online.
How's it going, guys?
I blame you, Jamie, because you're the only thing about this equation that is new, and everything's broken. So that I just want to lay that on you right now.
This can't be my fault. I mean, they just keep, the shorty keeps doubling. What are we going to do?
I don't even think it's a simple case of the shorty keeps doubling. We have seen some really bizarrely played hands at this final table. When Daniel was in the booth, he was quite critical of some of the moves some of the players were making. He feels that Kaufman has missed value on more than one occasion. He is currently the shortest stack at the table with just 9 big blinds. But then again, no one really is in a comfortable position right now with so few chips in play in relation to the size of the blinds, which will stay at this level for 60 minutes, and then they're going to go to 300, 600, and that's when we kick off the 45-minute levels.
I mean, surely just from a pure math point of view, this can't continue. This is just ridiculous.
I'm not going to make any bold predictions anymore. I was certain that we would lose at least 1, if not 2 players during the last session. So I'm not going to say that we will get to the end of this 60-minute level with fewer than 5.
Well, I was out in the real world with all my notes all ready for any number of exit interviews, and the number of times I stood up in readiness. I saw the kings, I stood up, I saw the ace queens. Everyone's still somehow surviving. Unbelievable.
So we're getting back to the action. Cards are in the air again. Level 36 is underway. Just very quickly, when I answer people on Twitter who watched the first part of the podcast, remember parts 2 and 3 are coming. A few people in the UK saying, I want to go to Poker in the Ears live. It's taking place in the evening of the 26th of September. That's the answer to question number 1. And to answer question number 2, free tickets in the reward store on the desktop version of the PokerStars client. I don't believe you'll find them on the mobile client. So Sorrentino here with King 10 has raised under the gun to 1.3 million. Folded around to Sorensen in the small blind. He's got his favorite hand, 7-5.
Very disciplined fold there from the 7-5. Oh, hello.
Wow.
See, here I am. I've come to save the day. You're welcome.
Cool.
All in and a call.
That was a very fast call.
Yeah, didn't even think about it twice.
Kaufman, the player at risk. But he's a 2-1 favorite, and Sorrentino only has
King
1 live card.
King.
Kaufman needs 10s to hold, though. He's the player at risk. And look at that, the case 10 on the flop. Looking pretty comfortable for Brian Kaufman.
No sweat at all. Ish.
Sorrentino's going to need running cards.
Well,
Okay.
We have chopportunities now. Sorrentino can't win the pot outright, so Kaufman won't be eliminated, but they will chop it. If it's an 8, it's a king. Too little, too late for Sorrentino. And Kaufman doubles up.
and we just keep going round and round and round.
So
how do we have this lineup? This is ridiculous.
Let me just put this into perspective. Kaufman, the guy who was down to 4 big blinds, is now second in chips.
Wow!
With a 20 big blind stack. Rafael Sorrentino is the player at immediate risk with 10 big blinds.
We have 2 comeback stories now. Coming back from 3 big blinds to be second place in chips. So 1 and 2 are the 2 players that were on the ropes at some point.
Unbelievable.
This is again a really great spot for Akari looking at these chip stacks. Oh, there's so much pressure, so much money, so much pressure.
It is ridiculous, isn't it? You think one of the biggest prize pool we've dealt with in a long while, and it comes down to these guys all playing around with sub, 36 and less big blinds. Really weird.
By the way, for people who say they can't find tickets for Poker in the Ears Live, I'm looking in the reward store right now. If you go to new, they're right there. A pair of tickets for Poker in the Ears Live. Crucially, you need to be a PokerStars UK customer in order to claim them. We did make them available to the whole of the world, and they sold out in the first 24 hours. We've made more tickets available exclusive to UK players. So if you've got the UK version of the client, you will find this item in the reward store listed under new. They're completely free, not going to cost you anything. 0 stars coin. You are entitled to a pair of tickets each.
Nice.
And again, I will repeat, make sure you are using the desktop client, not the mobile client.
While you're there, you can pick up the PokerStars fidget spinner. I saw right above that.
Ooh, really?
Are you guys into the fidget spinners, or what's going on?
I'm not, but also, the fidget spinner is going to cost you stars coin. Tickets to Poker in the Ears Live aren't.
That's true, right. So you need to budget that.
But how many stars coins is the fidget gonna?
A fidget spinner will set you back 750 stars coin.
I don't know what I've got. I've got quite a lot. I don't really use them very often.
So your guys' show is worth more than 750 fidget spinners.
Definitely.
It's not a bad ROI. That's okay.
Jane Windsor tweets, hashtag PokerStarsTV, still no deal? No, and again, we rarely see 5-way deals attempted at main event final tables on our tour, but I wouldn't be surprised if at some point someone suggested it. I mean, there are 2 players with fewer than 10 big blinds each. Maybe the other 3 are waiting for those guys to bust. Well, that was a walk for Lachizar Petkov in the big blind.
Just a nice 250, 500,000 level. Everything even. The levels I really dislike are the 70, 140 that they have online sometimes. It's just like, what's a raise
What's
here?
this for? Yeah. I'm never going to work this out in time.
I'm going to make it 315, I guess. I don't know.
That's the level that burns through your time bank, just trying to work out what's a reasonable re-raise pre. Turns out I've got 2,000 star coins, so I can certainly get myself some fidget action. Just bite your nails like we did in the old days. Ace Deuce just lets it go. Not a care in the world.
10 big blinds. This is a close one.
If it was suited, you'd be in like
You're in there,
in
yeah.
like a shot, but
Being offsuit? I'm not entirely sure. It's pretty on the line.
well, Sorrentino's decided it's good enough for him. All in for the 4.9 million he has left. Petkov out. Andre Akari also going to get out of town with the 8-3, the big 8-3.
A reminder that we have a free roll this evening, starting in 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's 9:15 Central European Summer Time. Just a quick reminder of the payouts in this main event. Next player out, nearly 320,000 euros. Fourth place, 400 grand. More than $500,000 for third, nearly 800K for the runner-up, and 1.4 million euros for the winner, plus the championship title and trophy. Queen 8 of diamonds for Andre. Daniel Smith on Twitter says, this is so ridiculous, it's good.
I love it. I thought we had seen all the final table dynamics there was to see. We've seen it with the guy, there's one guy that's got half the chips in play. We've seen all sorts of dynamics, but I just don't think we've ever seen anything this thin.
Wow. Okay. Pocket kings in the big blind. There might be an argument for a slow play here. It's a scary thing to do at a final table, isn't it?
The last time I saw someone slow playing kings against Andre Akari, it did not end well for them.
Well, there is the just call from Petkov. What price diamonds on the flop? King, Jack 5, no diamonds. Top set for Petkov, 96% favorite.
It's obviously a great flop for kings, making 3 of a kind. But is it a flop that Akari can put a lot of aggression in on? Probably not. Just kidding.
Brilliantly done. Brilliantly done. Good save.
Here comes Andre trying to rep the king, not realizing that Petkov has 2 kings. Meanwhile, a quick update from the high roller event here in Barcelona. Sam Grafton at Squid Poker has just tweeted, out 11th. Down to 10 in that tournament. Live updates on the PokerStarsblog.com.
Sam Grafton taking down the PokerStars Festival just recently in Bucharest. I'm a legitimate Sam Grafton fan. I think he's great.
Yeah, he's all right.
You don't mean that.
Petkov continuing to play it slow. He just calls. 7 of spades on the turn. And Andre is now officially drawing dead.
Yeah, I keep waiting to see how these slow play kings were going to get punished, but pretty locked up now. Just seems unlikely you're going to get much more value here. Yeah, Andre finally looks like he's giving up on this one.
If only it had been Queen 8 of diamonds, Andre. I mean, Queen 8 of hearts.
Wouldn't it have been a beautiful thing?
So here's the thing. Akari could consider bluffing if Petkov decides to check this river.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing to do with a set, though. Wow. And now Akari sitting with Queen 8. A hand that is pretty far down. One of the worst hands he's going to show up with here. Can put a lot of pressure on a king, a lot of pressure on a jack. Can represent the hearts.
Petkov's hand so under-repped.
For sure.
Akari wisely checks it back. Petkov shows his set of kings. Petkov up to nearly 9 million, 17 bigs. Akari still with the chip lead, but only a 30 big blind stack. A lot of people reporting that tickets for Poker in the Ears Live have sold out. Nico sent a screen grab, and while it still shows in the reward store, if you try to purchase, it says the item is out of stock. If that's the case, we probably have sold out, so apologies for anyone jumping on that bandwagon too late.
How about the fidget spinners? Are they still up for grabs?
There are still fidget spinners available.
So
granted, they cost 750 times more than 2 tickets to Poker in the Ears Live, but they are still available.
Silver linings. There's always, you know, as one door is closed, another window is opened, or something.
Do you think there'll be scalpers at the Poker in the Ears show?
That would be hilarious. I think what's much more likely is that people just claim them thinking, I might go to that, and then we get like 60% no-shows on the night.
That would be awful. I don't know if Joe could take that as he stands up in front of an audience of 12 because everyone else kind of is the equivalent of sitting out in a free roll.
Well, on a serious note, actually, if you did claim tickets and you can't go, please do give them back. Please do notify the reward store that you're cancelling, because clearly there are people who do want to go who now can't get tickets. We did say first come, first serve, fair enough. But if your plans change, or for whatever reason you can't attend on the 26th of September, please give someone else the opportunity to go. So this was a raise from Kaufman with the King Jack, called by Andre Akari in the big blind with a 6. And Andre has paired his 6 on the flop.
Andre Akari wanting to keep this pot as small as possible. And the question is now posed to Kaufman, does he want to bluff? Check back.
Okay, the board gets straightier on the turn.
That's not a very good card for Akari. It opens up a bluffing opportunity for Kaufman, and Akari has to feel less confident about his third, now fourth pair.
Tom tweets, I am gutted that tickets are sold out, but on the plus side, I'm watching Akari on the final table. Jamie Staples in the booth makes for a good day.
Thanks, man.
That's nice.
Okay, well, the board bricks out for Kaufman.
It's pretty hard to feel super comfortable here, isn't it, if you're Akari? As you said at the very start of the hand, just happy to get through this hand as cheaply as possible. Hope the cards hold up.
Is there any value in checking back king high? Could it be the best hand?
I don't think so. I think it's really likely that Akari would have bet before this with worse hands. A lot of them have draws, so I like Kaufman's bluff here. I would have liked it more on the turn, but still.
Can Andre find a hero call with just a pair of 6s? 1.3 million is the bet. It's a half pot bet.
So it's a bit weird. Is Kaufman going to be checking straights on the turn? That's what we need to be thinking about if we're Akari.
Andre lets it go. The bluff gets through. And the Kaufman supporters are happy with that one. He's hovering around the 20 big blind mark right now. Andre has 30 bigs. Raffaele Sorrentino is the low man at the table with 14 big blinds. Average stack right now, 25 bigs.
The stacks get closer and closer together.
It's really, really weird. I mean, I like it, but it is weird.
Kunal on Twitter says, I feel like I've been watching this final table since 2002. This hand folded around to Petkov on the button. Ace Jack of diamonds.
With 17 big blinds, the question is to shove or to just raise. Because you don't really want to let a hand like Queen 10 get in there for cheap. So I think the shove is going to be the best play. There it is.
Good guy.
Moves all in for 8.6 million. Jack 10 suited for Akari goes in the muck. Sebastian Sorensen is in the big blind with Queen 3, and he folds as well. The Bulgarian's happy with that one.
And a classic example there would be the Ace-Jack raises, and then Akari wakes up with the Jack-10 suited. And then Ace-Jack has to make a decision for their tournament life, risking everything. Now, they would have been dominated, but you don't want to have to make that decision in that spot, especially at a final table.
Yeah, because it's right, because you see the Jack-10, and then you want to say, well, actually, if he'd come in and not been so aggressive, well, now he gets to dominate the hand. But is unlikely to face that without also facing the raise.
Right.
So as you say, it would be easy to look at that and go, oh, that's a shame, that's a wasted opportunity to get involved in a hand. But you know, actually, you wouldn't be feeling comfortable. You'd lose the betting lead and you're on the back foot.
Don't know what that's about.
They're just practicing for when someone gets knocked out.
So Petkov raised to 1.1 million. Andre Akari has woken up with 9s on the button.
Big hand, big situation here.
3-bet from Andre.
I'm a little bit surprised with the stacks being the way they are. Everyone has less than 20 big blinds, excluding Andre Akari. 9s is not a hand you really want to see a flop with.
So the re-raise is to 2,775,000. It's been folded back around to Petkov.
So what does Akari do if Petkov shoves? Does Akari fold? You definitely don't want to be facing an ace-king or an ace-queen in this situation.
Maybe he just realizes these guys, the way they've been playing, they really need top of their range to want to risk their tournament life here. So he just feels maybe he's going to have to be really unlucky to run into just that real top percentage. I mean, it feels a bit of a risky route, but maybe it's just the way he's decided to go against these opponents, the way they're playing.
Petkov folds.
Nice one.
You think so? Not according to the history.
And I wouldn't say anything.
So reminder that we've got our W Coupe contest running today on PokerStars TV. Your chance to win a W Coupe satellite ticket worth $55 by playing real money poker on Stars. Principally cash, zoom or spin and go. Win a hand with the Queen of Spades, Queen of Diamonds. Those have to be your hole cards. It was the hand that John Juanda won this tournament with back in 2015. Queen of Spades, Queen of Diamonds. If you do that, send us the evidence, screenshot, boom link, plus the hand ID, hashtag PSC win. We've got until just before midnight tonight, and we will pick 5 winners at random, each of whom will receive a $55 W Coupe satellite ticket. All of today's winners and the winners from the rest of the week will go into the draw to win that Prague National Championship package worth $2.5K, as we see Andre Akari get dealt another pocket pair, pocket queens. He opens to 1.1 million.
Have you got the bingo machine sorted out for the live draw on the next Poker in the Ears?
We're on it, Matt.
Good.
We're on it.
Good.
So folded round to Sorrentino, who is in the big blind. Sorrentino has ace-queen. He's got 13 big blinds.
This is just a cooler situation.
Sorrentino shoves, Andre Akari calls, and here we go. Cards go on their backs. Rafael Sorrentino at risk with the ace-queen. Andre Akari way ahead with the pocket queens.
Damn it, yes, man. Damn it.
Sorrentino's two-time hopes disappearing here in Barcelona.
Any diamonds about?
He will need diamonds or an ace if he's to survive. Otherwise, he will depart in 5th place. We will finally have an elimination. No diamonds. Akari now an 85% favourite. Sorrentino drawing to 3 outs, looking for an ace on the turn or river. Akari's rail are going to go insane if queens hold here.
I'm slightly worried Frau set.
Deuce on the turn, and Sorrentino is down to just 7% equity. He will be eliminated in 5th place unless he can pull the Barry Greenstein out of the bag. And there it is! The ace on the river! Raffaele Sorrentino gets there, hits the 3-outer and doubles up through Andre Akari.
This is madness, I tell you. So I guess now he's our chip leader.
Sorrentino is chip leader with 28 bigs. Akari now 3rd in chips with 18 bigs.
Wowee.
Very, very wide.
Just in case you're worried, Jamie, that you've been punked, this is all really happening. Just in case you think at some point the curtains are going to draw back and there'll be a camera on you and we've just set you up to watch the most ridiculous final table. This is real. Just make that clear.
"20 minutes left at this level." Action on Andre Akari. Queen 10 of diamonds. Ooh. He folds.
It's a pretty looking hand. I guess Akari's thinking that the stacks being so short, you don't really want to get involved.
Sorensen has limped the button with ace-7. Kaufman with queen 5 in the small blind.
It's just so weird seeing these great players trying to play legit with almost no chips in front of them.
So Kaufman calls, Sorrentino checks his option, 3-way to the flop. And that flop is 10-8-6 with 2 clubs. Sorensen with the gut shot, Sorrentino with the flush draw. Sorensen still with the best hand for now, ace high. He's made a continuation bet. Well, actually, it's not a continuation bet, it's just a bet of 1.6 million. He's got rid of Kaufman, but I don't think Sorrentino is folding.
Now the question for Sorrentino is, do they want to risk potentially 7 million chips with the 3-high flush draw? Every once in a while you can run into the ace-high flush draw, the king-high flush draw, and be in really, really rough shape.
How much you have total?
Then again, it also sucks to call. It's just a sucky spot.
I mean, don't forget, he's got all those chips. He's got 28 big blinds to play with, Sorrentino. So, you know, a lot of options.
I'm all in.
Wow. Sorrentino decides to check raise all in. Now we can see the percentages, and this is almost a flip. Sorensen is ahead for now with ace high, but I guess from his perspective, Jamie, what's he beating?
Well, he's beating the flush draws that would have check shoved in this situation, such as the 3-deuce here. A hand like Queen Jack that could have done this, like a 9x type hand. But then again, there's so many things you're losing to as well.
And again, we're in that situation where this is all in to call. Sorrentino's got him covered.
The payouts of this tournament are huge considerations. 317,000 right now for 5th place. Jumps up to 400, 554, 790, and 1.4 for the win. You definitely don't want to take a flip in this situation.
I really want to hero call you, but I don't know if I can.
Well, the problem is you hero call,
Can I show him my cards?
and you've still only got 50% equity. Still got to fade clubs on the turn and river.
Or a 3 or a deuce.
Of course. Sorrentino does have live cards in addition to the club draw. His instincts are right. He is ahead.
This would be one of the most insane reads I've ever seen if he managed to make a call here. It's still not a slam dunk, but to be able to pick this out would be unbelievable.
I guess when your instinct screams at you like that, probably the longer you take, the less likely to follow it you are. So I guess the longer this goes on, the more likely to fold he might be.
It's been in the tank now for 2 minutes.
Playing devil's advocate, it's been a long day. At some point, you're just like, all right, let's do this.
It's not just a long day, it's also a long tournament. Remember, this is day 6. And the last 3 days have all been 12 hours plus.
The thing is, Sorensen also has the 7 of clubs, which blocks a lot of the draws that he wants to be making this move. So I'm just perplexed as to how he knows he's winning. I think he's just a beast. He just knows what he's doing.
It happens.
Yep.
Wow, it's been 3 minutes now. And someone has called clock on him. I think it might have been Petkov. The floor are putting Sorensen on a 60-second countdown. He has to reach a decision before the clock hits 0 or his hand will be automatically folded. He folds himself.
To me, a little bit early in the clock call when they're playing for 900,000 euros. I'd give it at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that.
I wouldn't normally quote time, but
If it's a spectator sport, sure. 30 seconds, but these guys are playing for life-changing money.
Yeah, but it's everyone's
Good
clock,
judging.
and there's only 13 minutes left before the blinds go to 300, 600.
That's a good
So
point.
Sorrentino, 35 bigs now. Sorensen down to 10 big blinds. And here's a hashtag fun fact. It has now been 4 hours since we lost Usman Siddiqui in 6th place.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Mostly Twitch thinking that that was way too early to call the clock. A few action junkies were very happy for it, but I think those of us that have seen big decisions for big money on a final table kind of know that generally you get a bit more leeway.
I mean, it had been a 3-minute decision, and Petkov did make the point that we've reached the stage of the tournament where the blind levels are starting to reduce now.
Yeah.
This is the last of the 60-minute levels. The next blind level will be 45 minutes. No one wants to see this thing get any shallower than it is already.
Yeah.
Something to think about is the shorter and shorter this gets, the more likely we are to see deal discussions as well.
I'm still slightly surprised that that conversation hasn't come up yet. Sorrentino calls in the small blind, Petkov with the option in the big. He opts to raise. That's a raise. And Sorrentino folds.
By the way, Jamie, you'll know when James starts losing his mind. It's when he starts sounding like he's starting to sound like. So just watch out. is that they tell you they brought you in as a pro guest, but actually you're like a buffer. You're a cushion between me and James. So when he starts flailing, you're here to kind of soak up some of that madness. So just keep your peripheral vision. Just think about where he is in the booth.
It's only 20 minutes to 7. We're not quite at the delirium stage just yet.
The fast food outlets nearby are standing by.
So we have reached hand 88 of the final table. 10 minutes until the blinds go up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Party time is official.
Folded round to the button. Sorrentino still has the chip lead at this 5-handed final table. Not going to play 8-6 off. Władysław Petkov is in the small blind, has King Jack.
Looks good to me.
12 million chips. Andre Akari only has 8.3 million behind, which is 16 big blinds.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Again, another shove.
Shoving on Andre. It's now all into call for Akari. And whatever he had with that 4, it's not good enough.
Hey, can you tell me, excuse me, can you tell me, if I bust, can you tell me what hand you had when you shoved on me?
What?
If I bust before you, can you tell me what hand you had?
Yeah, when you bust it.
Thank you.
Don't be too cruel, not to dare.
Someone should tell Sebastian Sorensen that if he's got a friend at home watching the stream, they
Like
can
I
tell him
told you
what
with
hand
the
it was in an
hand
hour's
yesterday.
time.
That's a lie. No, you don't.
I know.
Oh,
I guess that answers my question
You
about whether
overheard?
Sorensen has a rail.
What?
you overheard me saying it to somebody
Yeah.
else?
But I know what you have.
Okay.
I have a best hand.
Petkov with King 10 suited on the button.
Owen.
Shoving on the 2 players in the blinds.
Ooh.
Andre folding the ace-6. Sorensen in the big blind with King Deuce.
So the people that may be newer to poker that are watching this final table for the first time, you see Petkov shove in a lot of these situations and might think it's out of line or it's a little bit too crazy. It's just at the stage of the tournament where the math takes hold and there's not a lot of options left. King 10 suited, very
You
strong.
were sure you didn't have the best hand.
Not very many chips at risk and a lot in the middle of the game.
I show you. King Queen, I show you.
Yeah.
And again, it's
you don't
that
remember.
difference between
I remember
the
what
hand that's good
the-
enough to shove with and the hand that's good enough to call with, because Andre,
at that
on any
time
other
you
day of the
thought
week,
you
might look down at
didn't.
ace-6
Otherwise
and
you wouldn't
go,
have called it,
this is
right?
good for me. But as soon as someone gets there before you, like,
But in this
now I
moment,
can't
think
get
different.
involved. Someone on Twitch saying, do these guys know that the bubble has burst? Yes, don't worry. I don't think that's not the issue here. There's much more for each position here at stake than getting through the bubble.
Petkov with another decent hand, ace-9 of diamonds.
And Sorrentino is not in the way of the chip leader, so again, he can just relentlessly shove here with the big hands.
Gets Akari to fold the ace-4. Sorensen in the small blind with 6-5. And now Kaufman in the big blind with King 10. Folds as well. Another pot for Petkov. Every little helps. Up to nearly 15 million now. 30 big blinds for the Bulgarian.
Which at this point is riches. That's an insane amount of chips.
Dana Craven says the heads-up possibilities here could be amazing. I want to see Akari versus Sorrentino. I think a lot of people would take that selection, Dana.
What do you have, sevens?
What?
Do you have sevens? Or six?
Ace high.
Ace high.
Yeah.
Where are we at on the hand count? 91.
Ace king.
Ace 10. Ace 10, right?
You had ace king?
No.
Oh.
I didn't show ace king.
No, I thought you were. No.
No, he told you ace king.
No, Ace 10.
Ace queen.
Is he going to do it
10.
again?
I show pre.
No, he.
This one is
said
not as
ace
good
high.
because
Ace
you
10.
have one other big stack behind you that can really
He said that.
knock you out of this tournament.
Well, he's not open jamming, but he is raising 1.1 million. Sorensen with ace 3 on the button.
It really looks like almost a shove there. There it is.
Sorensen all in for 4 million.
How
8
much is
big blinds.
Medium. 5.
Petkov's priced in.
Mathematically, I don't think Petkov can call,
4 million?
or fold, excuse me. Should be a
75.
call.
Yeah. He doesn't like it, but he knows he has to.
One of those spots where you kind of want to save face and be like, oh no. Guys, I know I'm behind here. I think I have to call.
Ich nichten lichten.
Is that what he said?
There's the call. So Sorensen dominated. Ace-6 against ace-3 with the worst ace belonging to the player at risk. But
know
there
it's
is
a
a
call.
decent
I just
chance
wanna
of a
check the
chop. It will
side.
happen more than a third of the time.
I know.
Are we about to finally lose a player? Ace-6 holding on the flop, but nearly half the time this pot will be split.
It would be par for the course, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. I've become accustomed to 5 players at all times. What's that split chance now, James?
2/3 of the time.
Right,
Четверка.
just checking.
The river card is a 9. So this will be a chop pot. And you know what they say, guys?
Everyone loves a chop pot.
Especially Sebastian Sorensen.
And we play on with 5 players. I think every tournament from now onwards should be 5 max, because this is clearly the format that is working the best here. Everyone has a really good time. They get a lot of bang for their buck.
What an epic tournament.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
PokerStars Championship Barcelona 2017. Go
Long,
down in the books.
long will we talk of this day when we're old and grey around a fire going, do you remember? Those 5 guys just could not.
Barcelona.